Congratulations on passing the DLSU Computer Science program. You're probably wondering if you should spend the next 4 years studying computer science in DLSU. Well, I'm a second-year computer science student from DLSU, and I hope to share my experiences to help you make that decision. I'll be splitting up this video into 4 parts. Firstly, we're going to talk about the academics in DLSU. Secondly, the student life. Thirdly, the cost and expenses of studying in DLSU. And fourth, why I studied in DLSU. So let's head on to it. I'd also like to preface this video by saying that I am majoring in software technology. So if you have a different major in mind for your computer science program in the university, these tips might not be as applicable for you. So let's talk about academics, the meat and potatoes of your stay in the university. So what subjects will you be taking exactly in your first 3 terms? Firstly, you will encounter what we call colloquially as the Prog series, or CC Prog 1, CC Prog 2, and CC Prog 3 in that order. These subjects cover logic formulation and introductory programming, programming with structured data types, and object-oriented programming. So you may ask, what languages did we use in these subjects? Primarily for CC Prog 1 and Prog 2, we used C as the main programming language, and then CC Prog 3, we had to use Java to complete our course requirements. So what are the course requirements for these subjects? Initially, since Prog 1 is an introductory course to the degree program, you are tasked to create some command line programs. Particularly for my section, we had to do a modified snakes and ladders game, which I'll show right here. In conjunction with this, you'll also be dealing with a lot of math subjects in your first year. So this will be MTH 101A, CS Math 1, CS Math 2, and a foundational course in statistics in STT 101A. So what math will you be studying in these subjects? CS Math 1 deals with differential calculus, CS Math 2 deals with linear algebra, and then MTH 101A is a foundational course where you'll cover a lot of topics in mathematics to help you prepare for your later terms. As freshman students, you'll also be dealing with an introductory course in computing where you'll discuss the basics for computer architecture. You'll also be dealing with CC Distro and CC Disalg. Personally, these were the hardest subjects for me since they were the precursor to more theoretical subjects later on in your stay in the university. Okay, so what kinds of deliverables should you expect for each subject type? So let's discuss for the programming-related subjects. For the programming-related subjects, of course, you can expect a programming-related output. So this will be in the form of a simple command line program all the way to a dedicated Java Swing application for CC Prog 3. Don't worry about the difficulty since it will be just in the range of what you discussed throughout the term. For the math-related subjects, these subjects are typically graded through activities and quizzes. A lot of the times, there are a lot of exams for the math courses. So I suggest that you study a lot or do a lot of practice exercises prior to the exam. But these exams are not devilishly hard. You just need enough practice to get that 4.0. The theoretical CES subjects such as CC Distro and CC Disalg also typically grade through long exams. So there will be one exam for the midterm, one exam for the finals, and then I believe CC Disalg also had a machine project that you had to pass by the end of the term. So how would you prepare for these subjects specifically? The greatest thing that I did to help prepare me for these subjects was to read the source material. I can't stress this enough, but these subjects are very different from typical programming subjects. You discuss trees, hash maps, and queues, which are very important in your stay in DLSU. I suggest you really take the time to study these subjects specifically since these subjects are not intuitive for most people. There is notation that is very difficult to understand as a beginner, and putting it off in your first year does not help you at all in your second year. There are a lot of online discussions that say that the first year of the computer science program in DLSU is considered as a filtering phase for the program. So why do they say this? Personally, I have many friends that shifted out of the program because of several reasons. Firstly, I'd like to say that DLSU's computer science is not for the faint of heart. In reality, it's more of a logical course or a math course rather than a programming course. If your aim is to just program or make programs, you could easily do it with the help of ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini. You don't need a computer science degree in DLSU just to make that happen. Students that only aim to get that high-paying salary after completing the computer science degree were pretty quick to shift their degree once they found out that there was a lot of math and a lot of gibberish coming their way in the theoretical CS. So if I were you, I would really assess what my goals are in going to the university. Do you really want to create a foundation for the next 20 years of your career in computer science, or you just like to ride the wave of the computer science hype in the Philippines? If your answer is the latter, I think that DLSU might not be the right choice for you. But let's head on to the student life of DLSU and let's see if that changes your mind. So what about the student life in DLSU? First and foremost, we students have a 2 days on, 2 days off hybrid schedule. So you have 2 days on site, 2 days online, and then Wednesdays are typically reserved for exams, or it's just free for whatever purpose you want to use it for. And then this gives you ample time to do whatever side quest you want to do. One of the few things you might want to do is go around the campus. So DLSU features a very prestigious and very rich history when it comes to its architecture. For example, the Ellis Building and the Hennessy Building are one of the most iconic buildings in campus. Typically, people go here for inspiration. But remember, don't take selfies of yourself in front of the Ellis Building unless you don't want to graduate. But that's on you. As computer science students, we also have this home building, or what we call GOX. GOX is just short for the Gokongwei Building. This building offers a very modern study lounge at the very first floor. You typically see the students on the beanbags trying to get in that last minute of review before the exam comes. It's also where the Nook is. So what is the Nook? The Nook is basically the student spot for this student org called LSES. LSES is the main or primary org for computer studies people or students in the university. I personally am a member. As you can see, my certificates from the org. I hope you guys visit someday. But moving on, orgs are a very important part of your student life in DLSU. Orgs typically give you access to studying materials, free food, and then many of these student orgs allow you to join events that are in school and outside of school. More than this, orgs also allow you to showcase your talent and to gain valuable experience before you get your internship in the 4th year. So how would you join an org? There is what we call a annual recruitment week, where all orgs of the university, inside and outside of the computer science department, open their doors for new applicants. Typically, there's a small application fee, but after you pay for that application fee, I believe the renewal is annual. So that gives you ample time to recuperate your savings. But the experiences you gain, the people you meet, and the lessons you learn across the school year is more than enough to compensate for the amount that you spend on the application fee. So of course, student life isn't complete without the food trip. So how many food options are there in DLSU? Thankfully, DLSU sits right below the Vito Cruz station of the LRT1. This allows you to go anywhere in the greater part of Manila and discover food places very far from campus. DLSU has its own food vendors located in the Blumen Hall, so it's up to you to explore the abundant food choices in and around the campus. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. So how much will this Lasallian education cost you? For me, it costs around 80,000 to 100,000 pesos per term. So given 3 terms, that equates to around 240 to 300,000 pesos at the maximum. You also need to consider that DLSU often has price or rate increases per year. So thankfully, the most recent year did not have any tuition rate increases, but previous years had tuition hikes. So you also need to be wary about that. The bill is generally broken down into this. So a lot of what you pay for goes into the tuition bill, and then there is miscellaneous cost, laboratory cost. So do you really have to pay 300,000 pesos per year just to see these gates every morning? No. Lasal is very generous when it comes to scholarship programs. For example, the top 100 test takers of the DCAT receive a 100% discount on their education. Meanwhile, the top 101 to 200 test takers of the DCAT receive a 120,000 peso stipend every year, which I am thankfully a part of. LaSalle also offers financial assistance to those families in need. So if your family goes below a certain cutoff salary per year, you are eligible to apply for the scholarship. But keep in mind that these scholarships, aside from the scholarships that are given from the DCAT itself, are to be applied for. So you have to manually apply for the said scholarship and qualify for the said scholarship. If you are a athlete, student athlete, you can also apply to DLSU's program for that to lessen your tuition. I believe ROTC also provides a tuition grant if you select ROTC and join as a cadet officer, if I am not mistaken, in your freshman year. The full list of scholarships can be visited in DLSU site, which I'll post in the description below. So was my decision to choose DLSU's computer science program the right choice for me? I believe so. DLSU's computer science program really gave me a new perspective on what it means to be a computer scientist. It went beyond programming and it taught me how to think more critically about systems and about how programs really work in the field. Additionally, the people I've met in the campus are genuinely awesome. They're really committed about the projects that they're going to do. They're really ambitious and they really seem to have a drive for the future. There's also great freedom to be experienced in the program. The hybrid setup of everything really gives you a chance to explore projects you wanted to try even before college started. It gives you opportunities to attend events such as hackathons and other competitions that might take your fancy. Of course, deciding to be an archer makes you part of the Big Four. Being part of the Big Four sets you on a path for better recruitment options across the Philippines. From testimonials that I have from upperclassmen, they talk about how DLSU and other Big Four universities are preferred over non-Big Four universities when it comes to employment opportunities. At the end of the day, if you decide to opt out of the DLSU program, there is no problem with that at all. It is an individual and a very family-oriented decision on whether or not you will be able to handle the workload, the expenses, and the commitment that you need to survive for the next 4 years in computer science. Just know that if you decide to go to DLSU, then I hope to see you in the near future at GOX. So I'll see you and I hope you be an archer.